Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, we will be discussing about the Indus Valley Civilization. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends, and also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into today's video. So as I have told, today's video is about the Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization. So let us know some basic information about the civilization. The urban culture of the Bronze Age found in Harappa was very important discovery. So Indus Valley Civilization is a Bronze Age civilization. So, and basically it was an urban civilization with urban culture. So the urban civilization of the Bronze Age, which was found in Harappa, was a very important discovery. The Indus or Harappan culture, it is called as Indus Valley Civilization or the Harappan culture. The Indus or the Harappan culture arose in the northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. Okay, so the Indus or the Harappan culture, it started or it rose in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. It is called as Harappan civilization because this was discovered first at the modern site of Harappa. Okay, regarding the name Harappan civilization, this was discovered at the modern site of Harappa, that is situated in West Punjab in Pakistan. West Punjab in Pakistan. So that was a modern site of the civilization Harappa, and it was in West Punjab in Pakistan. In 1921, the Indian archaeologist Dayaram Sahni, Dayaram Sahni was an Indian archaeologist. In 1921, Dayaram Sahni appreciated the potentiality of the site of Harappa and started excavating it. So the site of Harappa's potentiality was found out by Dayaram Sahni in 1921 and he started excavating it. Another site, that is Mohenjo-Daro, was excavated by R.D. Banerjee. R.D. Banerjee, a historian, he excavated the site of Mohenjo-Daro, and Mohenjo-Daro is located in Sindh. Mohenjo-Daro was excavated by R.D. Banerjee and Mohenjo-Daro is in Sindh. Next, both these discoveries, if you see the discovery of Harappa and if you see the discovery of Mohenjo-Daro, both these discoveries, there were pottery and other antiquities. Okay, in both these discoveries, we could see pottery and other antiquities, which indicated a developed civilization. Okay, there were many other things which indicated a developed civilization in both Harappa as well as in Mohenjo-Daro. In the post-independence period, archaeologists from both India and Pakistan excavated Harappa and the connected sites. So there were many other sites which were discovered or excavated in the post-independence period. Now some of the noteworthy sites which have been excavated. First, we already told about one of the important sites, that is Harappa, which was in 1921 by Dayaram Sahni. Then next we told about Mohenjo-Daro, which was excavated in 1922 by R.D. Banerjee. Then another site, that is Dholavira, that is excavated about 1967-68 time period by J.P. Joshi. And again in 1990-91 period by R.S. Bisht. Okay, then another site, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, excavated by Dr. A. Ghosh. Then Lothal, which was excavated in the time period of 1955, that time period. So all these, etc. Okay, there are so many sites and the people who have discovered or excavated. So some of the noteworthy sites that are Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, Dholavira, Kalibangan, Lothal, etc. So these were some of the important sites of Indus Valley Civilization. Now all scholars agree the urban character. So as I told you, many of the remains which have been found in these sites show the urban character of the civilization. Urban character, and almost all the scholars agree. They agree on the urban character of the Harappan culture. Harappan culture. Now the central zone of mature Harappan culture lay in Sindh and Punjab. Okay, if you see the central zone that is of the mature Harappan culture has different phases. If you see the central zone of mature Harappan culture, it mainly lay in Sindh and Punjab. Okay, Sindh and Punjab, principally in the Indus Valley, and from there it spread southwards and eastwards. In this way, Harappan culture, if you see all together, we can see Harappan culture, it covers the parts of Punjab, then Haryana, Sindh, Baluchistan, then Gujarat, Rajasthan, and then the fringes of western UP. Okay, all these parts are covered by the Harappan culture. So the Harappan culture is it covers parts of Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Baluchistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, western UP, etc. All these areas are covered under the Harappan culture. Now, archaeological research over the past decades has established a continuous sequence of strata showing the gradual development of high standard of full-fledged Indus civilization. So, if you see the Indus civilization, if you see the archaeological research over the past decades, it has established a continuous sequence of strata. In the civilization, it shows a continuous sequence of strata. Okay, continuous sequence of strata showing the gradual development. In this continuous sequence, we can see a gradual development. There is a gradual development of the high standard of full-fledged Indus civilization. So, what are these continuous sequence of strata? These strata can be named as, we can see, pre-Harappan. Okay, then there is early Harappan, mature Harappan, and last we can see late Harappan. Okay, late Harappan. So all these are the continuous sequence or what strata. Okay, this shows the gradual development. So there is pre-Harappan, early Harappan, mature Harappan, and late Harappan. These are the phases or stages which shows the continuous development in this civilization. Now the different stages of indigenous evolution of Indus can be documented by the analysis of 4 sites. So if you analyze 4 sites, we can see the different stages of the indigenous evolution of Indus. We can see the stages of indigenous evolution of Indus if we see the 4 sites, 4 important sites in the prehistory and proto-history of Indus Valley civilization. Now the transition of nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural communities as per the evidence is found at Mehrgarh. Okay, so we can see the first thing is the transition. What is the transition? Transition from nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural communities. So that is the first transition. If you see, they change from nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural community. This transition can be seen in Mehrgarh. It is near Bolan Pass. Bolan Pass. That transition can be seen. Then it continues with the growth of large villages and rise of towns. So here we can see the one stage. In the second stage we can see the development of large villages and a rise of towns. Rise of towns in the second stage that we can see at Amri. Okay, large villages and rise of town we can see at Amri. Now the third stage, if you see, third stage is a sequence leads to the in the sequence leads to the emergence of great cities. Okay, from rise of towns, then great cities. These rise of great cities we can see in Kalibangan, and finally ends with their decline. The last stage we can see it ends with their decline, and this can be seen in the fourth stage at Lothal. So this is what I told. If you observe the four sites, we can see the stages of indigenous evolution of Indus. The first one, from nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural communities, we can see in Mehegar near Bolan Pass. Then from large villages, from the growth, it changes to the growth of large villages and rise of towns in the second stage at Amri. Then the third stage, the sequence leads to the emergence of great cities in Kalibangan, and finally ends with their decline in the fourth stage at Lothal. So this is how the indigenous evolution of Indus can be shown in different stages if we observe the different sites. Now, Amri-Kot-Dijian and Kalibangan cultures are stratigraphically found in the pre-Harappan, that is the pre-Harappan stage. So these are some basic introduction points regarding the Indus civilization. Now just let us go through the points which we have studied till now. The urban culture of the Bronze Age found in Harappa was a very important discovery. The Indus or Harappan culture arose in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. It is called Harappan civilization because this was discovered first at the modern site of Harappa, situated in the province of West Punjab in Pakistan. In 1921, the Indian archaeologist-Dayaram Sahni appreciated the potentiality of the site of Harappa and started excavating it. R.D. Banerjee, a historian, excavated the site of Mohenjo-Daro in Sindh. Both discovered pottery and other antiquities which indicated a developed civilization. In the post-independence period, archaeologists from both India and Pakistan excavated the Harappan and connected sites. Some of the noteworthy sites which have been excavated are Harappa by Dayaram Sahni, Mohenjo-Daro by R.D. Banerjee, Dholavira by J.P. Joshi and R.S. Bisht, Kalibangan by Dr. A. Ghosh, Lothal, etc. All scholars agree on the urban character of the Harappan culture. The central zone of the mature Harappan culture lay in Sindh and Punjab, principally in the Indus Valley. From there it spreads southwards and eastwards. In this way, the Harappan culture covered parts of Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan and the fringes of western UP. Archaeological research over the past decades has established the continuous sequence of strata showing the gradual development of the high standard of the full-fledged Indus civilization. These strata have been named pre-Harappan, early Harappan, mature Harappan and late Harappan phases or stages. The different stages of the indigenous evolution of the Indus can be documented by an analysis of four sites which reflect the sequence of the four important stages in the prehistory and proto-history of Indus Valley region. The transition of nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural communities as per the evidences found at Mehegar near Bolan Pass. It continues with the growth of large villages and the rise of towns in the second stage at Amri. The third stage in the sequence leads to the emergence of great cities as in Kalibangan and finally ends with their decline, which is the fourth stage in Lothal. Amri-Kot-Dijian and Kalibangan cultures are stratigraphically found to be pre-Harappan. Now let us move on to the next point, that is Indus Valley cities. Indus Valley cities. Okay. So the excavated Indus cities. So there are many cities excavated. These cities can be classified into nucleus cities, okay, then coastal towns and other cities and townships. Cities and townships. So these are the three divisions in which the Indus cities can be divided. That is, they can be divided into nucleus cities, coastal towns and other cities and townships. So first let us see about the nucleus cities. So in this, first we will see about Harappa. Okay, in nucleus city, first we will see about Harappa. It was the first Indus site to be discovered and excavated in 1921. Already we have studied by Dayaram Sahni. Dayaram Sahni. Okay, first Indus site to be discovered and excavated in 1921 by Dayaram Sahni. The site has two large and imposing ruined mounds. Okay, there are two mounds, two large and imposing ruined mounds, and the western mound of Harappa, smaller in size, represented the citadel. So here if you see the western mound, which is smaller in size, the western mound which is smaller in size, western mound which is smaller in size, it represents the citadel. Okay, and outside the citadel was the unfortified town. Unfortified town. So if you see the Indus cities, it is divided into two, that is upper portion, there is citadel, upper portion citadel, and after that there is the unfortified town. Around they have the unfortified town. So here upper citadel and around it is unfortified town. So this is how the Indus cities Harappa was divided. And this unfortified town, that is outside, it has some important structures which were identified, like we can say workers' quarters were there, then working floors or granaries, all these were there in the etc. were there in this unfortified town. Okay, so the western mound, smaller, which was smaller, had a citadel, and then outside the citadel unfortified towns were there. So this is how in Harappa it was divided. After that, two very important stone figures, which include some stone figures, were also discovered in Harappa. So two important stone figures, that is, one is red stone torso of a naked male figure. Naked male figure, that is one important figure, stone figure found in Harappa, red stone torso of a naked male figure. And another, one more, was a female figure of dancing pose. A female figure in dancing pose also have been found. So there are many stone figures which have been found, but important ones was a red stone torso of a naked male figure and a female figure in dancing pose have been found. And again, evidence of disposal of dead have been also found. Disposal of dead, evidence of the disposal of dead have been found in the south of citadel area, and it is named as cemetery R37. Okay, cemetery R37. So in regarding the disposal of dead, some evidence have been found in the south of the citadel area, and it is named as cemetery R37. So this much was the main information regarding Harappa, and as I have told you, Harappa belongs to the first division, that is nucleus cities, that is Harappa, first one. In nucleus cities itself, there is another second place, that is Mohenjo-Daro. Mohenjo-Daro also is included in nucleus cities, and the site of Mohenjo-Daro is in Sindh in Pakistan. The meaning of the word Mohenjo-Daro is mound of dead. Okay, so Mohenjo-Daro, also called as mound of dead, this also has two mounds, same like Harappa. This also has two mounds, the western mound being the citadel or acropolis, that is the western mound, and the eastern extensive mound was enshrining the relics of the buried lower town. Eastern mound, it had relics which showed that it is the lower town. Then they were excavated first by Sir John Marshall. The first Mohenjo-Daro was excavated by Sir John Marshall, and the citadel was fortified and big buildings extremely rich in structure. So in Mohenjo-Daro, the citadel was fortified, okay, and it had extremely big buildings. In citadel there was extremely big buildings which were rich in structures. If you consider the most important public place in Mohenjo-Daro, we can see the Great Bath. Very important. The Great Bath is the most important public building in Mohenjo-Daro. Great Bath, it comprises of a tank, and it is situated in the citadel mound. Okay, it is situated in the citadel mound, and it is a fine example of beautiful brickwork. And around this tank there is flight of steps, okay, flight of steps leading into the tank at either end to the surface, and there are side rooms which must have been used for changing clothes, okay, which must have been used for changing clothes after the bath. And the tank seems to have used for, mostly the tank seems to have used for ritual bathing, religious or ritual bathing. So the Great Bath is one of the most important public place in Mohenjo-Daro. It comprises of a tank which is situated in the citadel mound and is a fine example of beautiful brickwork. Then there are flight of steps at either end to the surface, and there are side rooms for changing, and it must have been used for ritual bathing. And the floor of the bath was made of burnt bricks. If you see the Great Bath, the floor of the Great Bath was made of burnt bricks. Burnt bricks were used for making the floor of the bath, and the water supply for the bath was from a large well, and there was also an outlet at the corner to drain the water. Okay, floor was made of burnt bricks, water was drawn from a well, and outlet was there to drain the water. And in Mohenjo-Daro, other than Great Bath, it has the largest building that also is situated in Mohenjo-Daro, and that is called the Great Granary, okay, which was used for storing grains and all. So largest building was a Great Granary, and it lies to the west of the Great Bath, west of Great Bath. So both Great Bath and Great Granary situated in Mohenjo-Daro. These are all in citadel. Now the lower and unfortified lower town, or if you see, it is unfortified. Citadel is fortified, lower town is unfortified. The lower and unfortified city displayed elements of a planned city. It was well planned. Okay, it was well planned. The houses were arranged in a grid system. Houses, if you see, in the lower town was arranged in a grid system, with the main streets running north, south and northeast, dividing the city into many blocks. Okay, the city was divided into many blocks. And again, the drainage system of Mohenjo-Daro is very impressive. That is, the drains were covered with bricks and sometimes stone slabs. The drainage, it was covered either with bricks or with slabs, stone slabs it was covered. And the street drains had manholes. The street drains were equipped with manholes. Okay, so the drainage system was very impressive. The drains were covered with bricks and stone slabs. Street drains had manholes. So that was an important feature of the of Mohenjo-Daro. And regarding the stone figurines or statues found, the bronze dancing girl, which is from Mohenjo-Daro, is considered as a masterpiece. Okay, the bronze dancing girl from Mohenjo-Daro is considered as a masterpiece. So these are the important points related to Mohenjo-Daro. Now another site which belongs to the same nucleus cities category is Dholavira. Dholavira. It is situated in Kutch in Gujarat. And it is one of the two Harappan settlements, the largest Harappan settlements in India. It's considered as one of the two largest Harappan settlements in India. The ancient mounds of Dholavira was first noticed by Dr. J.P. Joshi. First, the ancient mounds were noticed by J.P. Joshi, and later extensive excavation was conducted by R.S. Bisht. So both have an important role in the excavation of Dholavira. Its unique feature is that there are three principal divisions instead of two. Okay, this is one of the important difference in Dholavira. It has three principal divisions. See, other cities and all have only instead of two. Other have only two, that is citadel will be there and a lower town will be there. But here there was three principal divisions instead of two, which was seen in the other towns. That is, there was a middle town apart from the lower town. This is the unique feature of Dholavira. Other cities and all had only citadel and a lower town. Here there was a middle town. That was the difference of Dholavira. Now again there is one more place which can be included in this nucleus city, that is Kalibangan. We know it is situated in Ganganagar district of Rajasthan, and it was excavated by B.B. Lal and B.K. Thapar. Okay, so Kalibangan, situated in Rajasthan, Ganganagar district, it was excavated by B.B. Lal and B.K. Thapar. This site has only two mounds, same like the others. This also has two mounds, and yielding to, that is citadel and lower city. The people of Kalibangan, they used mud bricks. Okay, mud bricks were used for construction of houses, and they used burnt bricks for wells, drains, etc., pavements, etc. Okay, mud bricks were used for construction of houses and burnt bricks were used for wells, drains, pavements, etc. So all these were the nucleus cities, that is the first category in Harappan or Indus cities. Now the second category, if you see, is coastal towns. So which are the cities or sites which are included in coastal towns? The first one is Lothal. Lothal, the speciality is it was an important trading center of Indus civilization, and Lothal is situated in Gujarat. It was excavated by S.R. Rao, and in Lothal, metal, we can see the metal workers, shell ornament makers, because it is a coastal town, shell ornament makers, bead makers, all these shops, okay, all these shops has been discovered here. Metal worker shop, shell ornament maker shop, bead maker shop, all have been discovered here. The discovery of another important discovery in Lothal, that is Persian Gulf seals. The discovery of Persian Gulf seals suggests that Lothal was engaged in maritime activities. This is proved by the discovery of Persian Gulf seals. So that is the points regarding Lothal. Now just let us go through the points which we have studied till now. Indus Valley cities. The excavated Indus cities may be classified into nucleus cities, coastal towns, and other cities and townships. Nucleus cities, Harappa. It was the first Indus site to be discovered and excavated in 1921 by Dayaram Sahni. The site has two large and imposing ruined mounds. The western mound of Harappa, smaller in size, represented the citadel. Outside the citadel was unfortified town having some important structures identified with workmen quarters, working floors and granaries. Two very important stone figures which include one red stone torso of a naked male figure and a female figure in dancing pose have been found. Evidence of the disposal of the dead have been found to the south of citadel area named as Cemetery R37. Mohenjo-Daro. The site of Mohenjo-Daro, Sindh in Pakistan or Mound of Dead also has two mounds, the western being the citadel or acropolis and eastern extensive mound was enshrining the relics of the buried lower town. They were excavated first by Sir John Marshall. The citadel was fortified with big buildings extremely rich in structures. The most important public place of Mohenjo-Daro seems to be the Great Bath. It comprises a tank which is situated in the citadel mound and is a fine example of beautiful brickwork. Flight of steps at either ends leads to the surface and there are side rooms for changing clothes. The tank seems to have been used for ritual bathing. The floor of the bath was made of burnt brick and water was drawn from a large well and outlet from the corner of the bath lead to a drain. In Mohenjo-Daro, the largest building is a great granary and it lies to the west of the great bath. The lower and unfortified city displayed all elements of a planned city. The houses were arranged in a grid system with the main street running north, south and east-west, dividing the city into many blocks. The drainage system of Mohenjo-Daro was very impressive. Drains were covered with bricks and sometimes with stone slabs. The street drains were equipped with manholes. The bronze dancing girl from Mohenjo-Daro is considered as a masterpiece. Dholavira, it is situated in Kutch district of Gujarat. It is one of the two Harappan settlements in India. Ancient mounds of Dholavira was first noticed by J.P. Joshi and extensive excavation work was conducted by R.S. Bisht. Its unique feature is that there are three principal divisions instead of two in other cities. The existence of this middle town apart from lower town is a unique feature of this settlement. Kalibangan, it is situated in Ganganagar district of Rajasthan. It was excavated by B.B. Lal and B.K. Thapar. This site also has two mounds yielding the remains of a citadel and lower city. The people of Kalibangan used mud bricks for the construction of houses and burnt bricks were used for wells, drains and pavements. Coastal towns, Lothal. It is an important trading center of Indus Valley Civilization located in Gujarat. It was excavated by S.R. Rao. Metal workers, shell ornament makers and bead maker shops have been discovered here. The discovery of Persian Gulf seals and reserve slipware suggests that Lothal was engaged in maritime activities. Now let us continue with the coastal towns. Another important coastal town. First we studied about Lothal. Now the second in coastal town is Sutkagendor. It is situated at a distance of about 500 km west of Karachi. Okay, Sutkagendor is situated at a distance of 500 km west of Karachi and function as a trading post here because all these are coastal towns. They functioned as trading centers, trading post of the Harappans. Functioned as trading post of Harappans. Only that much information is given about Sutkagendor. Now the next coastal town is Balakot. If you see about Balakot, it is situated at a distance of about 98 km northwest of Karachi. And this settlement yielded the relics. Here we find relics of both pre-Harappan and Harappan civilization. Pre-Harappan and Harappan civilization. Okay, relics of pre-Harappan and Harappan civilization. So these much are the information regarding coastal towns. There are many others, but for the time being I have explained 4 coastal towns. Now the last division, if you see is other cities and townships. Other cities and townships. Now, which are the sites included in these? The first one we can see Surkotada is the first one. The settlement pattern of Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro and Kalibangan was repeated here. Here we find the same settlement pattern of Harappa, then Mohenjo-Daro and Kalibangan. Okay, Kalibangan. So the same settlement pattern of Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro and Kalibangan have been repeated here in Surkotada. Now the second one here is Banawali. In Banawali, it is situated in the Hisar district of Haryana. And the site yielded two cultural phases. So in Banawali we can see two cultural phases, that is pre-Harappan phase and also the Harappan phase. Two cultural phases can be seen here, pre-Harappan phase and Harappan phase. The Harappan phase showed significant departure from the established norms of town planning. If you see the Harappan phase in Banawali, it is having a significant departure. Okay, it is showing a significant departure from the established norms, and especially established norms of town planning. There is a lot of difference in Banawali. There is a significant departure from the established norms of the especially regarding the town planning. Now the next place here is Chanhudaro. Here evidence of material remains clearly shows that it was a major center of production of beautiful seals. Okay, beautiful seals. This was a major center for the production of beautiful seals. That we can find out from the evidences which we see from Chanhudaro, that it was a center for production of beautiful seals. And here we can see hoards of copper and bronze tools. Hoards of copper and bronze tools can be found. Then evidence of craft like bead making. So we can see evidence of bead making here in Chanhudaro. Then bone items, evidence of making of bone items, seal making. All these have been found in Chanhudaro, and that suggests that this place, that is Chanhudaro, was inhabited by artisans and craftsmen. That much evidence we have got from the place, which suggests that it have been inhabited by artisans and craftsmen. Now the last place, if you see regarding the other cities and townships, that is Kot-Diji. This site also has two phases. Here also two phases, same pre-Harappan and Harappan phase is there. Material remains discovered in this site. Here the material remains which have been found are, if you see, terracotta bulls, then 5 figurines of Mother Goddess, and large unbaked cooking brick-lined ovens. Okay, large unbaked cooking brick-lined ovens. All these have been discovered in Kot-Diji. So the last place is Kot-Diji. It also yielded two cultural phases, that is pre-Harappan phase and Harappan phase. Material remains discovered at the site are terracotta bulls, 5 figurines of Mother Goddess, large unbaked cooking brick-lined oven. So all these have been discovered. So these are about the Harappan sites or Harappan cities. Now let us just go through the points. Sutkagendor, it is situated at a distance of 500 km to the west of Karachi and functioned as a trading post of the Harappans. Balakot, it is situated at a distance of 98 km to the northwest of Karachi. The settlement yielded the relics of the pre-Harappan and Harappan civilization. Now other cities and townships, Surkotada, the settlement pattern of Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro and Kalibangan were repeated here. Banawali, it is situated in the Hisar district of Haryana. The site yielded two cultural phases, pre-Harappan and Harappan. The Harappan phase showed significant departure from the established norms of town planning. Chanhudaro, evidence of material remains clearly show that it was a major center of production for the beautiful seals. The hoards of copper and bronze tools, casting, evidence of craft like beads making, bone items and seal making suggest that it was inhabited by artisans and craftsmen. Code Diji. This site also yielded two cultural phases, pre-Harappan and Harappan civilization. Material remains discovered at the site are terracotta bulls, 5 figurines of Mother Goddess, and large unbathed cooking brick-lined ovens. So these are the points related to the Indus cities. Now the further points regarding Indus civilization I will be explaining in the coming videos. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And also, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.